everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOC Reader, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my pre-fall vlog. So I'm in that fall spirit. I started decorating the house, putting some little fall touches here and there. Bought these really cute little pumpkins, and I'm just ready for like all the fall books because like I'm really on this cozy mystery kick right now, but then I also want to read like some kind of dark and spooky stuff. So I thought, why not try my luck at vlogging again and take you along for the journey. So right now I am reading Here Comes the Body. I borrowed it from the library, but also like Hoopla has the audiobook and the narration is pretty good so far too. And this is a lot of fun. I fall in and out of love with cozy mysteries all the time. One minute they are grating my last nerves, and the next like I'm completely in love. And what I like about this, it's not as, I don't know what the right word is to describe it, but like a lot of cozies follow this very specific formula where the heroine is like perfectly angelic, and it's like almost Christian-like, but not really because they don't really talk about God. Well, some of them do, but like, and she's like stuck up and like not like other girls and stuff, and it's really weird. And those are the kinds that kind of turn me off. This, I like that she actually feels like an adult, and we're actually mentioning adult stuff, like, so this is cool because it's like it follows this Italian family from Queens, which Queens also isn't a location that a cozy mystery would normally take place in. Normally they're in these small like cutesy little towns. There's not a lot of cuteness here, but there's a lot of funniness, and I really am enjoying it. So you're following this Italian family, and yes, they are a mob family, and yes, we lean into the Italian mob family-ness, and I'm loving it. So Mia had a hookup, went off and married this guy after like a month, and she found out that her husband was cheating on her. Somehow he disappeared, and she is now back in New York after being cleared of his disappearance, and she's helping out her dad with his new catering hall because he's trying to go legit. And of course, the one crime that they did not commit actually happens when she has to host a rowdy bachelor party. So this groom is like Groomzilla, and the bachelor party is kind of crazy. Like, he and his friends are just ready to get drunk and act up. And this stripper is supposed to pop out of a cake, but instead who's found in the cake is a dead call girl, and her dad is framed for the murder. So far this one is pretty humorous and a lot of fun. We're kind of following Mia just trying to get her family off the hook, and it's not easy because her family is used to going in jail all the time. So of course the police are looking at them and just assuming it's them, and they're trying to build their case as quickly as possible. So overall, this one is a lot of fun. And then I am reading House of Hunger. So the goal is to start this one tonight, get through a couple of chapters, and then give you guys an update for hopefully tomorrow. House of Hunger is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. I heard that it does give you all the vibes early, but then some people were saying it kind of fizzles out, so hopefully that's not the case for me. I really did enjoy The Year of the Witching, even though that one had some mixed opinions from my friends, but I'm hoping this is even like darker and more adult. And then I need to hurry up and read these picture books. I got sent a couple. So this one was from Simon & Schuster. It's You So Black, and it's by Teresa the Songbird. I think it's like a poem or a song or something that she had that was adapted. So I'm gonna read this one this week and do a little, they sent me an advance copy, so it's nice because, oops, this, the pages are kind of like falling out a little bit in this because it's not bound. So this is what it's looking like. But it's nicer than reading like a virtual edition of a picture book because that's kind of weird. And then I got this other one. I think I'm gonna do what they did for this one and staple the pages together for You So Black. But this one is Jump In. And my sister was like, oh, so they adapted the Disney movie. No, but it is about Double Dutch. And it is about a neighborhood. And the illustrations are so pretty. Let me show them to you. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to read it to my niece because she's always looking for more picture books, especially with black kids on the cover. And she's building her little like brown girl collection too. So I'm like reading through picture books, seeing if I can find some good ones for her. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick update. I will definitely try to be better about vlogging and check in with you guys soon. Hi everybody, so I am just checking back in. Made myself some tea in my nice fall mug, and I haven't actually been reading as much as I wanted to read this week. Here's the thing, like the month started off great, so like, but this week I just haven't been able to keep up the momentum. I've been tired, so I'm only getting like a few chapters read during the night. I did finish Here Comes the Body and highly recommend. This was a lot of fun and like I said, a little bit different than from my usual cozy reads, not as cutesy. There are recipes in it, like in the back, different Italian recipes, some Greek recipes up in here, eggplant, parmesan, cookie cup shot glasses, the spinach pie. So there's like, it does mention food, but it doesn't go into detail as much as like very culinary cozies that I've read. But I love the vibes. I like the family. They're very funny. And then I have House of Hunger, which was one of my most anticipated ones for the year. And I am on chapter 11 right now. So I still have a good amount of ways to go because it's 32 chapters. The goal is to finish reading it. I'm going to try and see if I can read most of it tonight. And then I might have like maybe a little bit to read for tomorrow. But it's been interesting so far. Very different tonally from The Year of the Witching. Like I feel like The Year of the Witching sucked me in a little bit faster. This one had some very dark and unpleasant vibes in it. But so far I'm still trying to get immersed in this world at the point where I left off. Marion, who is our main character, is now taking on the role of Bloodmaid for Countess Lisavette, and she's just arrived and she's not quite sure how things are going to go down, so it should be picking up a little bit from there. Like I said, it is a really short book, so as long as it keeps the pacing up, I expect it to be an enjoyable read. And so I just wanted to do a quick check-in because I hadn't checked in the past couple of days, and tomorrow is Fall Fest, so I'm going to be out and about, but I want to try and get a little bit of reading done in between. Hey everyone, so I am just checking back in, and I finally finished House of Hunger. I didn't get to finish it yesterday because it was Fall Fest, which Fall Fest wasn't really giving fall vibes. It was so hot out there. It was more like Summer Fest, and like I wanted to show a little bit, but then I'm like, no, because it was mostly like local like shops and stuff, and everybody was out there selling their stuff and had their banners displayed and stuff. So I like to keep that part of my life private. I don't like to show off too much of like recognizable local stuff on social media, so kept that part to myself. But I did enjoy the drinks and the good food out there, so that was fun. It was nice to get out, and I did so much walking yesterday. I met my walking goal. Like, I actually went over it by more than 2,000 steps, so progress. But anyway, I finished House of Hunger, and House of Hunger was not at all what I expected. I was definitely expecting something dark. I was expecting something sexy, and unfortunately this just was not a sexy book. And anybody who tells you it was sexy was lying, because even though it, like, the sapphic stuff is heavily promoted for this, it's not good sapphic rep. Like, if you're looking for a good sapphic story, this isn't it. The women had no chemistry with each other at all whatsoever, and the sex scenes were dry. Like, it was like they thought vulgar language made it sexier, but it didn't. It was just like, there was no chemistry there. So I could have actually done without like trying to twist it into like this dark romance story, because it really wasn't that, and it really wasn't developed. And it, like, the twists in this book were weird. So the basic premise of this story is that this young woman sees an ad to be a Bloodmaid, and she wants to escape her terrible life. So she goes to be a Bloodmaid. Before she escapes, she does this very horrible deed, and she feels a little bit of guilt about it at first, but then we don't consistently see the guilt about it, so it just seems more like something that they throw on her face throughout the book, and less so something that she deeply regrets. And I find that in the beginning they spent too much time with the build-up of her going to the house, and it felt like so much time was spent building up to her going to the house and then building up to her just entering the house. And I feel like we could have started the book where she was entering the house without having to see like the backstory play out in real time, just to help with the pacing issues of the book. I don't mind that the book is short. I do mind that it seemed like everything was underdeveloped when it had the space to develop it on page. Like, so the middle felt very flat because we spend so much time building up this main character Marion going into the house. Then she goes into the house and she's like immediately trying to become the Bloodmaid, like main Bloodmaid. And I don't really understand why she cared so much about being main Bloodmaid. Like, right off the bat, she's like basically trying to push out the favorite to become the favorite. And she gets kind of like this instant jealousy over her host, Lisavette, and there was just nothing that like made me feel like these girls should have been drawn to Lisavette. Nothing like was really going on there. I mean, it was just like vaguely dark and mysterious throughout, which I hate when books just use dark and mysterious as an aesthetic and don't fully dive in. Like, stuff was going on and like you see strange stuff around the house, but it's like nobody has any questions. Nobody's really caring about it until way later in the book, and that part made no sense. Like, everybody else is just too busy like instantly fighting each other over who gets to be the favorite Bloodmaid, but being favorite Bloodmaid wasn't a good job. And it's not like Lisavette was telling them like stuff in front of them and then like whispering in their ear behind closed doors. No, her blatant favoritism was out in the open, so I don't know why they were all felt like she loved them the most. She was showing who she loved the most, and would pick and choose depending on random situations. So it's not like she was giving them equal attention. And then when your head Bloodmaid like they would see how it would be like draining girls. Like they would be getting sick, they would have to eat extra stuff, like their youth was fading away. So I don't see why anybody was really competing for that spot, because it seems like, you know, you would have rather not had to been constantly drained for blood as heavily, and the less pinpricks the better. So like the book at the towards the end is trying to like run off the basis of like they should be all in it together, but you never got that true sense of friendship between these women to buy that. So that part felt a little bit flat for me too. Like the gore and stuff was pretty good. There were some very like gross scenes that just made my skin crawl and made me squirm a little bit. I liked it for that. I felt like the world needed more developing, because you got to hear little tidbits of how the world worked, but I still didn't understand it or know enough about it. It was vaguely Victorian England, but it was also vaguely like the US South versus North. And like it didn't make any sense. I didn't understand the racial dynamics of this second world that it was in. That was very, very vague, because Marianne is black, but then Lisavette is white. And I don't understand why race was made a distinction when it really barely ever came into play. So overall, like I left House of Hunger, like it was okay, but I just wanted so much more. More character, more plot, because it felt like in the middle, like you're going through the motions and nothing is really happening, and I'm like, where is the plot? Where is it going to go? And then towards the end, it's like speeding through the plot, and I'm just like, this main character, she was so stupid, like truly competing for biggest dumbass towards the end, and it made no sense to me. I'm like, why are you going to seek help from this person you're not close with, who has never helped you? They're obviously not on your side. Like it didn't make any sense. Like the stuff she was like at the end stopping to talk to people, like to plead for help, and like they're not going to help you. You're in this on your own. Like it made me so mad. Like all the stupid just like choices she was making in the last 4 chapters. So it's very dark if you want those dark vibes, but it is nowhere near the level of the Year of the Witching, which I really enjoy the Year of the Witching. Some of my friends had like issues with it because of like the very religious aspects, and they want it to be like a little bit more witchy than it was. But that book for me, 5-star read both times I've read it. I had 2 different like experiences reading the book, like because the first time it was just like the atmosphere and the darkness and the plot, and then like the second time around I'm like really noticing like even some of the stuff that I had missed over, like with how she made the religious parallels. So I thought that book was really well done. Definitely a stronger plot than House of Hunger, and overall better characterization. House of Hunger, I know she wrote because she was having trouble writing the sequel to The Year of the Witching. So this was like the book that came to her, but to be honest, it needed more work. Like it wasn't up to par. It was a good concept, but it just wasn't fully realized. And I don't even know if more pages necessarily would have made it better, because I feel like she had enough pages, but she would focus on ridiculous stuff like describing in detail the food Marion was eating on the train ride, versus like things that needed meaning. And then even some of the world building and the story just made no sense towards the end. Yeah, so those were all my thoughts about House of Hunger. I was hoping it would be a lot better than it was. Right now I'd say it's probably like between a 2.5 and a 3-star. Wasn't like, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either, or particularly very good. It just kind of lacked in a lot of places. And for the whole dark romance aspect, I really needed the chemistry to be there to work, and it just did not work. And because there was no chemistry between Marion or any of the girls really, it fell so flat. But those are all my thoughts. So that for this pre-fall reading vlog, hopefully fall reading is really strong. So far it's been kind of a mixed bag. Let me know what you thought of this vlog down in the comments, and thanks so much for watching, and I will check in with you guys soon. Bye!